Hi, Jaylee. My name is Mike, and I look forward to meeting with you today and discussing some things. Before we get into why you're here, um, I first have to let you know about informed consent, which means everything you say here will be confidential. It'll be private. The only way that I would have to share it with somebody is if I feel there's any sort of self-harm for you or for others. That would mean I would have a duty to warn. And so anyways, just know that everything will be confidential. There's just that one exception. So what would you like to discuss today, Jaylee?
Well, yeah, it's just been really heavy on my heart lately. I've had a lot of stuff go on in the past couple of months. Recently, I had a friend who passed away. She was a really good friend of mine, and yeah, she would just give me a lot of great advice. Um, and she would really point me towards the Lord. So I'm just kind of, first of all, feeling lost without her. Um, and yeah, just second of all, I just graduated college, just finished college at Northwestern.
Mm,
Um, I'm looking for an apartment or even just like a small house. Um, but even though there's a lot of homes and apartments still on the market, um, it's just still really hard to come by. I'm still paying off plenty of loans, due to college debt. Um, so yeah, I just feel really anxious about that.
mm,
And I really don't know where to go next. So I would like some guidance on that too.
mhm.
If you could maybe help me with like setting financial goals or maybe, like a budget or something like that. I've really had no experience doing that without the help of my own parents.
Sure. Well, thank you for sharing and being just transparent with me, Jaylee. I really appreciate it. So what I'm hearing you say, well, you shared a lot with me there. But so you recently had the loss of a friend, um, and and you also just graduated college, correct?
Hmm.
Okay. And in the meantime, you're looking for a home, and are you also do you have a job?
I do have a job right now. I currently work as a certified nursing assistant at the hospital.
Okay.
Um, Mainly during the summers, but now I'll probably move to part-time, just because I graduated college now. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of nursing jobs out there. It's just not the one I'm looking for. You know what I mean?
So as far as um that's a lot to deal with. A lot of transition, a lot going on. So what piece would you share in a list of priorities or not priorities, of what you mentioned, which one of those are causing the most anxiousness with you?
I don't know if I also have trouble kind of like placing what actually triggers my anxious thoughts. Even sometimes like I'll have like physical symptoms. I think they're from anxiousness.
Mhm.
Yeah, just my stomach is in a knot all the time. Um, and it's almost become like normal for me to feel that way. So I don't really know where to like place what triggered it, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Um, so can you tell me more about your friend that passed?
Yeah, we didn't go to high school together. We just met in college. We were freshman year roommates actually, and we roomed together all 4 years. And then, yeah, this last year we roomed in a college apartment
Mhm.
with some people. So that was a really good experience. Just got to know all of those girls really well and that friend. Um, yeah, she, yeah, like David in the Bible, she was a gal after God's own heart. Um, and the part I'm not anxious about is that I know that she's in heaven.
Mhm.
Um, so that's kind of been a piece right now with everything else going on. Um, yeah, just qualities that I really admire in her are she's very compassionate.
Mhm.
Um, she had so much empathy.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a little bit about her.
Okay. And you also mentioned sensing anxiety over finding a house
Hmm.
and place to live. Okay. Well, this town is a hard place to find a house because there's just not a lot out there. It's basically every town these days. So
Hmm.
um, especially housing that is affordable for most people, especially out of college. Um, Thankfully, I'm a part of an organization here that that has a branch of financial planning that's called Center for Financial Education. And if you're open to it, Jaylee, I would like to connect you with somebody here that can help you budget and set a goal for what you'd like to do in the next month, 3 months, 6 months, year. And I think I think there's a possibility that they could help you set something up and achieve some of those goals, like a house and and so on and so forth. So if you're willing to collaborate with us on that, that would be great.
Yeah, that would definitely take a lot off my shoulders.
Okay. What's your what's your social support like? What's your family like?
Um,
Friends?
yeah, I actually have a really loving family. Um, grew up in a great home, which I'm very grateful for because not all of my friends did. Um, as I don't know, as friend support goes, I feel like now that I'm almost kind of in my mid 20s, it's and all of my friends are moved back home now, and none of them, my closest friend is probably like 3.5 hours away.
Mm.
So that's been kind of hard, but I try to call them at least once a week. So like friend social support is not really there right now because I would love to have them in person. But my family has been very loving. I'm living in one of the spare bedrooms right now. So, and they're also trying to help me find a home too. But yeah, the housing market is just not affordable right now.
Well, sounds like you have a fair amount of support. Um, have you have you ever considered rooming with somebody also in some sort of apartment or?
I mean, I have. There's just not a lot of people I know around here anymore
Mhm.
that would like to live in an apartment, I guess. Most of my friends around here are older than me.
Yep.
Um, so they like all have families and stuff like that. But I guess I that has crossed my mind just a little bit, but I don't want to go with a complete random stranger. That'd be kind of
Yeah.
nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can see that. But yeah. Um, Tell me more about your job
Sure.
and your place of work.
Yeah, so I'm a CNA in the med surg unit here in town at the hospital. Um I do really like my job. I get to interact with some cool coworkers. Even though like the nurses and even doctors are like, I guess, higher up in status than CNAs are. They still treat us with respect and they just create a great community and they want to help you. And that makes me not afraid to ask them any questions if I have any. So it's just a really great working environment.
Mhm.
And I'll miss it, of course, if I find another job.
Yep, absolutely. So it's been a good experience for you.
Mhm.
Good. Um, so so to kind of come a little bit full circle here, Jaylee, what would you like to see happen in our partnership and collaboration?
Mhm.
What would you like to work towards? If you could have a list of about two to three things, maybe four.
Mhm.
You've shared some, but I definitely like to help you further as much as I can and support you in any way I can and advocate for you. Um, so can you name about two or three things that you maybe like to work towards?
Mm. Well, I definitely think the root of it, maybe, I have a great social support system at home, loving parents and
Hmm.
great siblings. But also finding that social support outside the home, because I guess it takes a village to raise a child, raise a person too, no matter how old you are. So, yeah, just maybe reaching out to some people I haven't talked to in a while and just connecting again. Um, Yeah, so the root of it, maybe like finding that social support system again.
Hmm.
And then also another priority, um, not only like finding a home, but also setting those financial goals and those financial budgets because I'll be honest, I'm horrible with money. Um, I spent way too much in high school, even though I had a job, um, my bank account would be almost empty. So just kind of watching that. And then maybe a final priority. Um, Maybe somehow, I guess, emotional regulation,
Mm.
finding out what triggers my anxious thoughts and then what triggers those physical symptoms too,
Yep,
because I know I'm not sick. It's just those thoughts that are like making me feel sick. So, yeah, just emotional regulation and also maybe kind of finding a sense of internal control, even though like I don't have I feel like I have no external control right now, which is actually causing me a lot of stress, but also just like feeling in control on the inside too, if that makes sense.
yep, absolutely. So what I'm hearing you say, Jaylee, is you would like to work towards more social support, which I can affirm everybody needs social support. Um, that includes me as well. Also, you would like to learn how to manage a budget, right?
Hmm.
And thirdly, you mentioned just overcoming anxiety and some of those things that trigger it, and coping mechanisms to maybe handle both those internal and external factors. Would that be accurate?
Yeah. What are some like coping mechanisms you would suggest?
Hmm. That's a great question, Jaylee. I think what I recommend to a lot of people is journaling. That just kind of helps to get your thoughts down on a piece of paper, and it's kind of like a form of release. So, anyways, you can journal it anytime, any time of day, and however much you want. It can be a full page, it can be half page, or just however much you feel like you have to yeah, get out on your thoughts out, and also exercise, regular exercise. simply going for a walk and getting outside, um, and even breathing techniques, which we can talk about sometime if you'd like. So, um, those are some of the suggestions I would have for the anxiety. But the first thing I'll do is I will get you in touch with Jeff, who is our
Okay.
in charge of the Center for Financial Education, who helps all these people set up budgets. And he's outstanding at it, and he'll walk you through that stuff. And then we can meet again, and we can talk more about some of these other things, like housing, the anxiety, and social support. And so let's look at meeting again in maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, I think that will work.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming in today, Jaylee. I appreciate you, and I look forward to working together to help things be a little bit more manageable for you. Okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.